when death begins to hear again. Come on, y'all.
Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Come on, girl. Come on. Hey, I like the way you do it. Wanda just gave you an invitation to come on in the room. We here tonight, and I'm just excited. I got my co-host with me. Wanda, what you call it? Bubbly sugar.
Bubbling brown sugar, baby.
I never seen nobody. Actually, she fits her name. Every time you see her, she bubbling, and she's definitely brown. So she's always on point when it comes to come on in the room. And I agree with her. I promise you, we got something for you tonight. We want to laugh. We want to have fun. Laughter is just good for the soul. And when you can do some laughter, be like what's the comedian say? If I can keep laughing, I can keep going. And sometimes you just need to have a laughter or a song in your spirit. And with me, I just keep a song. Come on in the room. Yeah. You can make it. You can make it. So tonight I got wondering, we're going to just bounce off each other. I want to just talk to her, and I want to get her excited because, you know, she's a Christian woman. So I want to start off with something simple because I thought about this. I asked a man just today, and I said, if somebody would had your spouse or your significant other hostage, and they tell you that the only way you can free them is that you send them your right arm. So you got to cut your right arm off in order to save them from being a hostage. Would you do that?
So are they just going to hold them in a place? They weren't going to hurt them or nothing?
You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what their intent is. They just simply asking you. Then you gonna be debating with them? What they go? You gonna be debating?
I'm saying some people keep people hostage and they feed them and stuff like that.
So as long as they feed them, you know, the bottom line is you gonna cut your right arm off.
I guess. Yeah. I get. Yeah. I cut my right arm off for my husband. I sure will.
Well, Wanda, I'm telling you, you are one of the first. Now, the man said he'd have cut his arm off. I said, maybe men said that. Women don't usually say that fast. Because if they had called me and said, you know, we're holding your husband and we want you to cut your right arm off, I just tell them, hold on, let me think about it for a minute. You know, let me think about it, then I'm going to get back with you. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna be checking his insurance policy. What kind of policy you got for our answer? You know, a lot of times we say stuff without even knowing it. We come face to face with some stuff. Then we'll. But if you ask me right off the door, baby, no, just go on, take what you got coming.
But you know, take what you got.
Come on,
just. But you know, there's gonna be some negotiation in. Can I give you my right toe? At least I can have 9 toes.
Baby, that's it. That takes a lot.
It does.
I'm gonna tell you, and for you to say that you would do that for your husband, he needs to really appreciate you.
He better.
Yeah.
He on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, you saying that because you on Facebook?
No, I do it.
You saying that because he listening to you?
I do it. I got too many bills. Can't do it by myself. I need him. Come on. At least I got one good arm.
I know, right? And I said, you know what? It's amazing what you would do, what you would say when you're not face to face with it. And I told him, I said, I don't know. That's what brought me to, after talking to him, I said, then which one are you? Because are you a thermostat or are you a thermometer?
So when I think of thermostat on the wall, now you're listening to Miss V and the crew. This Miss V, and I'm part of the crew. And she's asking me a couple of questions. One of the questions is, if your mate was held hostage, would you cut off your right arm to free them if they ask just for your right arm? Tell us what you think. And also, are you a thermometer or a thermostat? So when I think about a thermometer, I think about on the wall. No, I mean, the thermostat is on the wall and you got to turn temperature up and down. We just had to turn it up for this air today. And then a thermostat is when you're taking your body temperature, right? Right. Thermometer is taking your body temperature. So I think I'm a thermometer because I don't want you don't have to no. Let me see. Because I changed during the seasons too. I might be a thermometer. You gotta turn me up and turn me down at times. So I think oops, I did that wrong. I think I might be a thermometer. Yeah, you gotta turn me up at times, and sometimes you still I'm thermostat. You gotta adjust me accordingly, because sometimes I'm hot, sometimes I'm cold. But at sometimes I might be over hot. No, I'm a thermostat. I'm a thermostat. You got me got me tongue twisted.
I know, you know what, how I came up with this question I was talking to somebody and they was like, they just take all my energy from me. I don't like to be around those people because it's so much energy I lose, but I don't want to give my energy to nobody. And I told her, I said, to me, life is like a thermostat or a thermometer. If you're the thermometer, you take it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a thermostat, you set it. Whatever you is, and it just amazes how we can both take that same question and take a whole new analogy from it.
Yes.
Because it's one thing about a thermometer, they just take it and they don't, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something about a thermostat. It can change the atmosphere. So when you show up, everything about you ought to show up with it.
Yeah.
If I got a little peace, it's showing up. If I got some joy, it's going to show up.
Yeah.
If I got some understanding, it'll show up. So what you are the one that's supposed to change the atmosphere.
Setting the temperature.
Set the temperature. You're the one. And if you ever in a position where everybody can change you, move you, something wrong with you. Because you are the one that can only set your own temperature. You're the only one can set your own thermostat. So what I said it, you're not changing me, boo. Fit in. This is the way it is. And you have to be. You cannot be one of those well, I'm icy. Well, when around you, I'm this way. No. When you around me, 100, what they said, 10 toes down, 100.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it 100.
Boost to the ground.
Keep it to the ground, baby. This is. Tisha, she the one I had a long conversation with. She on the line. She said, blessings to you all.
Hi, Tisha.
So sweet. I told her we're going to do better. Because, she was like, y'all don't even interact. Y'all don't even let people. I said, girl, first of all, we blind. We can't see. Can't see these writings and stuff. I'm trying to do the best.
I try to look at
and it's not like we've been on here a long time. This is something kind of new. I'm still fresh at this.
But you're good at it.
I don't know how good I am, but I'm still fresh. I'm like, I'm a little fresh trying to find my way and navigate my way through this. But she the one kind of called herself checking me. So I said, I stand check on this one. But, just know that you can't be just checking me, like that,
Sometimes we need a little checking here and there.
Yeah, well, you better not let them know you need it because they'll be checking you all the time. I was going to ask you one because I know you in church and stuff. How you feel about the technology in the church? With all this going live and all of this, everything is shown and stuff. How you feel about all of this technology that they put in the church?
I like technology to a certain degree. I like YouTube when you put the after you streamed in your church, then you apply to YouTube so other people can go back and listen. But however, some of the live stream have made us lazy, has made us not even try to get into the house of God. We're still stuck in COVID mode and all that isolation. And sometimes when we're isolated like that, it messes with your mind or it makes you lazy. Some people won't even attempt to go into a church building anymore. And they use the excuse, I'm not going to be around there or I can watch it online. And it used to be a time you have to get up and go. You have to go because you feel the presence of the Lord in the building. And you draw from that. And it's good. You can see it online and hear it on the radio when you don't have any other choice. But I still think that there's a time that we need to go into the house of God. So I just feel like some of the technology has made us really lazy, has made people shy away from God. And then some of it, and it's churches and church folks put up foolery. Half of that stuff ain't even about God, it's about them. And why I gotta pay you to watch you on TV? Why I gotta donate to something? They want me to give you this kind of money, that kind of money, join a church online and pay my tithes to them. And it's good to have an overseer, but can you come and preach at the funeral? Will you come and do the wedding? Or if I'm just paying tithes to say I got a church home? You know what I'm saying? So if you all the way in Atlanta and you all the way across town and I'm paying my tithes to you every time, will you send somebody if I'm sick? Will you send somebody if I'm ready to get married or whatever? What can my church home do for me besides me watching you on TV?
Yeah.
How does that help?
Oh, I'm with you. I agree with you totally 100. And the one thing that I could just add to that, and even I agree with everything you said, the one thing that you add to that is because when you online and all that stuff, first of all, they critiquing you. You know, every little thing you do wrong, every little thing you say wrong. You know what I'm saying? You up here, I'm in here getting, you know, and all you do now, all of a sudden you trying to critique me and what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to do something in the name of the Lord and whatever. I just think that it's just a bad platform. And even not, and even this, I think that it's a platform where you cannot do what God has called you to do, because there are gifts and talents that He has endowed in each and every one of us. And so, what do you do with it, with the gift that's inside of you? You sit at home because it's for your good, but it's for God's glory. So you're supposed to come out and share your gift so that somebody can benefit from what He's given you. Not that you can sit at home.
Yeah.
No, we take these things and we have taken it and we blow things so out of proportion. It was for things if you can't make it and you could tune in. But now it was not for a comfort zone.
It's comfort, sitting at your couch, in your bed, eating your chips, watching the Lord, not
and talking
praying
about the people. Oh, they know they can't sing. Oh, they know he can't preach. Oh, he know it. And no, that ain't
your
what it's.
Sunday dinner together.
No, that ain't for
everything.
That.
And after,
it's a sacrifice that you get up and you go through the motion and you put on the clothes and you go out to the house of worship. And you hug and you share your testimonies and hear somebody's testimony. High five somebody and tell them it's going to be all right. That's supposed to be the purpose of this corporate and going to church, not just for a show.
Go into the highways and the byways and to compel them to come in. You can't compel them from your couch.
I know, right?
and you sitting there. You know, we used to go to each other's house for prayer meetings and stuff like that. People don't even do that anymore. I don't even see a lot of Bible study, like literally Bible studies in a lot of churches. They just go on Sundays and it's over.
I was thinking about this because this has literally happened. There was if your friend husband make a pass at you, do you tell your husband?
I sure do. He won't do it again.
So
and my friend, I'm gonna tell my friend, and I'm gonna tell my husband. I sure am.
Gonna tell everybody.
I'm gonna tell everybody we will, but not be in this uncomfortable situation ever again. And you will not get the opportunity to lie after you did it one time. And I say you do it again, I'm gonna tell, and you do it again,
So the first time you ain't gonna tell.
No, first time I'm gonna tell. I'm saying he would not, or she would not get the opportunity.
They won't get another chance.
They won't get another chance because if you that rotten to do it with a friend's friend, then you're doing it somewhere else. So no, if they can get mad all they want to, but I'm gonna tell it. I'm telling, and the reason being that happened to me some years ago, and I did tell it, but my ex-husband, he never believed me. He didn't believe me, and kept inviting this person over to our house, and if I was low down dirty and he was offering me money, I could have took it and been scoundrel. But I didn't. And I kept on telling. And so now, then he one day caught him looking at me a certain type of way. Said, he never come back over here. Oh, you shouldn't have came the first time I told you. But because it was your friend, you believed him over me. No, I don't believe that. That's some dirty, rotten stuff to do.
Usually when you tell it, they're going to believe the opposite and not you.
That's going to be on them because you're going to mess up a good thing. That's what I say. I'm a good thing. So not believing me, gonna mess you up.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen where with a friend, looking at you and that you ain't that Bobby Womack said? You trust me too much.
I wish you wouldn't trust me so much. Too much. Don't trust me that much.
You don't trust them, but they will wind up. And you know what? And if you're not careful, with your husband or your significant other, they will believe they won't believe you. They will believe that, oh, they wouldn't do that. Oh, he ain't like that.
Right. They believe their character over your
Yeah.
character. But
Yeah.
if you know me and you know my character, then you know I'm not that type. But then you get some other friends be telling them in their ears, like, man, you think your woman or your wife, all of that, she ain't that. I bet you she'll do this. And I'm, like a challenging thing. You don't, you don't never know. So you're not gonna get the opportunity to challenge me.
You but once.
I'm telling somebody they gonna know. And I'm gonna say, watch. Yeah, I'm telling.
So now you're messing up all kind of friendships.
I don't care. They messed it up when they came in. How you gonna sit at my table and be disrespectful? Yeah. That's not fair. And then I'm looking at my king over there and looking at him like, you so stupid, because this dude is coming at your wife. So yeah, that's not fair. That's just simply messy, and I can't tolerate that.
Yeah, well, that brings me to my next point, because a lot of times you try to avoid confrontation.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's gonna some repercussions gonna come behind it, and so to avoid the confrontation, you just don't say anything.
I'm saying something.
You don't care.
I'm gonna say something because it's gonna eventually be a confrontation somewhere else. And like I said, if
rather nip it in,
because you saying it's my husband's friend, and probably their wife is my friend. So that means now you're not just doing it to him, you're doing it to her too. And so if you're doing it to both of them, with me, which is a friend, you're doing it outside somewhere. And that's up to them if they want to keep you around, but you're not welcome in my home. So I got to give a reason why you can't come into my house.
Yeah, but a lot of times people just want to avoid, because the old people should say, once you stir in something, it get messy. So try not to stir,
I ain't stirring it. I'm simmering it. You're going to get right up out of here. You're not going to be coming back. And I'm not going to trust you like that. And because I'm not going to make myself uncomfortable being in your presence and you and keep quiet for you. I'm covering for you.
So that means if you see them out somewhere with another woman,
that ain't my business.
Oh, you wouldn't tell that.
That ain't none of my business. I'll probably say, I see you again. Now, you might get a warning on that. You might get a warning on that. If I catch you again, I'm gonna have to say something. But that part ain't really my business. My business is when you come at me.
Right.
I gotta say something because I'm not having my husband sitting there looking stupid. I'm having him looking stupid. He thinking this is his friend. He thinking this man got his back. Y'all could be out there in a gun war, and he turned the bullet on him because he trying to get to his wife. No, I'm telling.
But you know what? And that, well, you think about it. When it comes to like how we have our I don't know how you have our children and stuff, and now because now, have you noticed on Facebook how they have these kids? They got one little baby. I seen her the other day. She on now. Well, my friends with the haters. Bring the haters on. Where my haters at? I'm like,
I didn't see that one.
I'm like, and these kids, and they got it, they saying stuff, they doing dances and stuff, and everybody is laughing and they think all of this stuff funny. Do you think that stuff is funny?
Kids talking about haters, they should have haters already.
Well, somebody done told them they got some.
Oh, they're picking up adult behavior, and we have to be very cautious and careful how we put our behavior onto our children. Because that's adult behavior. I thought you were talking about where that fans and the little girl was doing that.
Them.
And she looked cute doing it. But she was on J Hud show. Pop, pop, pop. And it's cute and it's not. You know what I'm saying? She's very pretty and she's doing it. She know how to do the line dances. But that means she's been a whole lot of adults circles.
I told them at church, I said, if I had some kids, they're going to have bullets in their head till they're 22 years old.
Yeah.
This stuff here, now you open doors, and once you open the door for that type of grown-up attitude and that type of response, trust me, you creating a demon. All of this stuff, and I know it looks cute and it looks pretty at 2 years old, but they ain't gonna stay 2 years old. They growing, all of these attributes are growing with them.
Yep.
All of this stuff they think, and now they important. They got all these viewers. They got all of this publicity. You got people's putting them up. That stuff, I'm going to tell you, I know I would with mine. you would be hid. Ain't nobody even know your name.
So do you think like 12 and under, do you think they should have weave in their hair?
No, Lottie.
Some, because even if they have like a
Kitty weed.
no, a sickness or something, like I understand like cancer or something, they got on a wig and they put them on, but I'm just saying, just like these big long weaves that these girls be wearing and
But
these
you know what?
ladies wear.
And Lord knows, I feel you when they dealing with a sickness and you can't even, parents are just trying to navigate and do the best they can. But when kids even got sickness, why would you try to hide that? It's nothing that they did. It's not that their fault. It's not that they at the point at that age, they are themselves. So why are you trying to fake it and for somebody else?
Well, it's probably just to build their esteem up and keep them,
How
going,
we
because the young kids, talk about kids and shame kids. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's true too. But they doing that and they got a head full of hair.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. They got a weave that they pay bundles, $300 for bundles of hair in a 12-year-old head.
You know what, there's one thing that they always told us when we was growing up. You try to maintain the children's at least till they 12, about 12 years old.
Hey,
They have gotten a mindset. So you
Mhm.
have to, before 12, you've got to make sure and very sure you done made them know, don't be grown for your time.
That's right.
Stay in a child's place. But now, how do you expect to tell them that when you're doing all the grown up stuff? You can, it's like mixing oil and water. It don't mix.
Need some balance.
You need to tell them, no, you's a child. Sit down and shut up. You need.
They used to tell us that.
Yeah, they used to tell them, and they said, explain, because I said so. I don't question this.
Yeah, you got to explain now. You ain't no I said so's no more.
And we didn't explain nothing. You say what? Why? What?
Yeah, they say why.
You get a back behind. You got a back in.
You get these kids now. Why? Why?
Little bitty children.
Yes.
God.
Questioning you.
I know.
I don't know where that came from, because.
And you had to, even if they had a little and kind of like bald head, you would just put it together, make them a little ponytail, a little ponytail, and bust it down the middle. Have two ponytails and one in the back.
What's that blue
magic?
Blue magic. You get that blue magic and magic them down.
You would have it little, and it'll be nice. Put them little what they call those little things on the tip of them and stuff.
Barrettes and bolitas.
Yeah. And the kids went on, they was cheering. Now, and ain't no need of you trying that no more. Because first of all, it's over. Their hair is long, the weave is long, and they ain't built like they 12 and no 11. So you create monsters.
Yeah, they need to leave that almond milk alone.
Yeah, they better go back to the cheese and stuff.
Yeah,
because you want to keep children at a bay.
Yeah,
as long as you can, because it don't take long before it changes. Don't take long before they start to get grown. And them old people, you said now you're smelling something.
You smell, because I was thinking about that because I watched the Justin Bieber story, and they was talking about how he had to be in an adult world as a kid, and he missed so much because they thinking he got mental issues now. I'm not sure if he have them or not, but he missed being a real kid. And when you push a child to grow too fast, mentally it disturbs them because they skip some years in between. So you have to be very careful what you introduce children to at an early age.
I totally agree. You everything has a season. And then and you have to be careful if you're moving too fast.
Yep.
Look at all these kids that's in these big NFLs and actors and stuff. They lives either they not living long or either they messed up because you expose it. Let them grow. Let them run barefooted. Let them play in the mud. Let them make some mud cakes and all of that stuff.
They do that anymore?
I don't know if they do it no more. Back in the day, they did. Make some pies and say, "Come eat the mud pie."
Play marbles in the sand.
Yeah, and do hopscotch and stuff.
Yes.
They don't do stuff like that no more.
No.
All this stuff they've grown and they're growing so fast, and you don't realize that stuff. It hurts on up and down. Up is down the road.
Yep.
It comes back to hunt you. That's why you
really
cannot do that. You have to let them grow slow. Everybody I see that got kids out, like, stay in your place.
That's
Be
old school. That's
yeah,
your
stay in your place.
generation.
Yeah,
That's your
this
generation.
I know it's a
nowadays.
generation, but
Mhm.
do you know the generation that we the one changes? Oh, they say it ain't what it used to be. Why? Because you changed it.
Change it. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that parents are exposing their kids too fast, too soon to stuff that they need to stay a child.
I
And that
agree.
and them 2 and 3 years old on Facebook and they doing all come on. That stuff ain't gonna be pretty
And then
long.
even if you're doing it in your house, it ain't everybody's business. Because a lot of that stuff you putting the kids out there on Facebook, getting them introduced into something, and you try to snatch it away. That it's not that easy.
Because everybody ain't gonna be nice.
No, and there's a lot of
Everybody ain't
predators
gonna
out there.
yeah, and I mean more than you looking, more than you see what's going on, more than and trust me, they mind ain't equipped to be able to differentiate between what's right and what's good,
Yeah.
who honest, who legit. They ain't there yet.
Mm-mm.
And so now what have happened when you're not there?
Yep. I seen one man rode up to the little kid's house and asked him, "Are you Janet or whatever?" He said, "That's my mom." And he introduced. He put his mom picture. She put her mom picture up there for her. And man just rolled up to the house though, gave out the address, everything, and you no call, no show. Somebody they met on TikTok rolled up to the house.
See,
That's how you get killed.
it is.
Rolling up to somebody's house while their kids outside playing and say, where's Jeanette? Even if I was an adult, you still got to call before you come. My
Yeah,
Lord.
But
Yeah.
this is the way we got it now. Do you know I don't know if it's fake news. 'Cause I told you I look at you. I don't know if it's fake news or not. But they were showing this where all these kids is on each side. These kids is on this side. I mean, hundreds of them. And they just walk towards each other and start fighting.
For real?
For real. I'm asking myself,
Why?
what is going on? Do you? And I mind you, they were all girls.
Oh, Lord.
I say, and you beating a person. What? Why? You have people beating you in your face. Now you around there, people is around there trying to put everything to make themselves look good, fixing their mouths and fixing themselves. You up here fighting and somebody bust you in the face, have your face down in the concrete. What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm tough.
I'm-
I'm bad.
I'm telling you,
I'm about that life.
and they came together and just went to fighting. I don't know if it was some program. I don't know if it was something that went on ahead of time. But I told the girl, I said, I can't see no more of that.
That's sad. That's real sad.
And when they be passing that stuff, pass my phone.
Mhm.
I don't want to see all these people fighting.
Me either. It's
If
just
you
a
had
waste
saw
of
this,
life.
Wonder if you'd have seen how they just came, just met each other, and just started and they ain't fighting like little,
like they used to do. Like
They standing and getting some leverage, coming back with haymakers. I know people say I ain't never fought, and I haven't. I ain't never. You ain't that thing's amazing? I've never had a fight in my life.
That is amazing because I have.
I believe
I'm
you.
the nice, quietest person you'll know.
I mean, all this brown bubbly sugar, you up here? You up here fighting? All this happy spirit around here a fighter. But
no, I'm
that's
fighting
back in the day.
now. Yeah,
That's
I'm
back
fighting
in
the spirit.
Back in the day, you was a fighter. Unless you had to fight right now. I told him I have never fought, but it wasn't for the fact that I don't know. I guess
Everybody was scared of you.
I don't think they was scared of me. I don't think that was it. I'm serious, and I just never had to fight, and maybe I always had somebody to fight my battles. I don't know, but I never had to fight, and I just think that, and even now, my kids think I'm a chicken. Mom, you just a chicken. And it's not even that. I told them, and I've said this before, even on podcasts, that
don't be on here talking about you scary and people see you outside. So they go that scary.
No, it just goes to show you is what I told them, and I told it on here before. I'm like the kung fu. Very few things worth fighting for.
That's true.
You give me a reason that's worth fighting,
That's
a
right.
cause that's worth fighting for. You getting out there just run down the street trying to fight a man.
Oh no.
Are you just fighting a woman? Or you just fighting?
No, defending
Yeah.
yourself.
You
That's
know what I
it.
mean? If there's a cause that's worth, and I mean, everything that we ought to do in life, it ought to be with some type of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Mississippi and the woman gonna walk up to me and say, I'm in my hometown and you ain't got nothing but three little dust rooms that you're partying in, and it ain't no concrete on the floor, dirt. And then you up there talking about we fight for our men.
What?
Do you think I would sit out here and roll in this dirt for a dirt?
You keep your man.
Baby, you is a fool to fight for this dirt. I
Yeah.
mean, no, there's some things worth, and there's a cause, and there's a purpose behind it. And whatever you fight for, it ought to come with a purpose.
Yes, I agree.
You ought not just go in no street and just fight because somebody said something.
So you can have bragging rights.
Yeah.
Mess up your
Who
face.
care what you think? Or how
No.
bad and you bad? I agree. You sure is. Go ahead. Be bad. I mean, fight for a cause. Fight for a reason.
Right.
Have
I
purpose
agree.
with it.
I agree.
Kung Fu said, you fighting. He said, I know you can beat the man. Why you ain't fighting? He said, I ain't want that food. Why would I fight for it? Fight for purpose. Fight for reasons. Now, if you give me a reason that's worth fighting, I know karate and karate. I know all that stuff, but it's very few reasons that it's ever been a reason. Like the kids used to come up and say, Mama, we want to go down the street and fight. You know, the girl don't like us and all that stuff. And I would tell them it ain't worth fighting. You know, it ain't. You want to be messed up. You want to be ugly. You want your face scarred up. You want to be scratched up with marks that'll never go away.
Yeah.
You putting cocoa butter and stuff on your face trying to clean it up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, when I was coming up,
you didn't mind.
Well, I was taught that if somebody trying to fight you, and I had my stepdad, he didn't play. If you don't beat them, he gonna beat you.
You better not come on.
So you'll look at him and you'll look at them. I'm gonna get you because I know what I'm gonna get when I get in the house. He'll sit there and watch you fight all day, but you better not come in here crying, and you better not lose. So you go fight. You go fight. I'm telling you. I remember telling him that a girl and her brother jumped on me and threw glass at me. He said, "What did you do?" I said, "I ran home." He said, "Get out." You ran home for what? He said, "You better get out there." I got out there. They picking on me again. I kept looking at that balcony at him. I said, "I ain't going back in the house like this." He says he's a millionaire. I told that girl up. I am her brother.
I know it's a purpose. I gotta fight. It says I gotta fight or flight. I gotta fight.
You gotta fight.
I understand there are situations and there are purposes with it.
Yeah,
but not just to be out there like these.
No,
not
that.
This stuff, and we're looking at women and young ladies that have a life and have a future, and you don't want to take your future, mess your future up at a young age.
Yes.
Give you something that you can work with as you get older. Because trust me, times don't have to be that kind.
Mm-mm.
You look back and you're gonna wish you didn't have that scar that you had on there, or you didn't have to mess up that eye or that teeth, and now you got to try to spend thousands of dollars to fix.
You right about that. And nowadays it's not even worth the argument. So many young women, and you just brought to my mind that a young girl I seen on Facebook was shot. The man, she was arguing with somebody, a man walked up, shot in the face twice. People don't care about your life anymore. No, and like back in the day, we fought with our fists. Yes. But even if we fighting with our fists, we walk away like nothing ever happened. We can get back together or whatever. Now, if you lose, they want to come back and shoot and all that other stuff. People stay scared to lose a fight. Yeah. They scared of the scar, but you started it. So I just feel like sometimes it ain't even worth argument. You ain't even got to prove your point anymore. If you say you right, you right. It's okay. You can be right because I already know I'm already right. So I don't got to prove my point to you.
Prove nothing
I don't have to argue with it. And I just wish our young people, especially our young ladies, stop degrading themselves and stop trying to prove a point and stop getting on the social media talking about each other. Then got to meet up somewhere. You meeting up with a person you don't even know what they got. what they have. Ain't no popping the trunks no more. They got real guns, you
Yeah.
know, and everybody got them.
Yeah,
So don't think because you got one, somebody else don't have one.
that's true.
Don't think yours is gonna shoot faster than theirs. We got to be more careful and more cautious of our actions, and it's not even worth the argument. He ain't worth the argument. Found out that he's a DL brother. He ain't worth the argument. He ain't want you in the first place.
That's
You
true.
know, she not worth the argument. He got a baby mama and a girlfriend and a wife on the side.
Yeah.
So no, leave him alone.
I know. I said that because I be looking at you. Tell us they gonna probably tell me to start paying for it. I watch it so much, and they gonna tell you watch it so much. You got to start getting your subscription. Because I watch it a lot. But some of that stuff, I'm trying to wean out what part of this stuff is real and what part is fake, because it just doesn't make sense
Most
to
of
see
it's
all
real.
this stuff.
Some of it is real, not all of it. But
It's
if you
just
see
sad.
people throwing blows and hitting each other, that's real. You see it right then and there.
I mean, it's crazy. Even in the stores and Walmart and in the restaurants, and
Yes.
it's everywhere you look.
Yep.
I'm like, what is this?
It's something in the air. It's something in the water. I tell you, we gotta stop drinking that stuff.
I don't know. I'll be like they told me. They said, well, if you can't handle it, you just go on smoke you a few reefers or something. I said, but if I smoke the reefers, I might like it.
Did you ever smoke weed before?
No, but I figured it's too late, because now if I smoke it and like it, I'm too old to be trying to hunt around.
Well, they got too much stuff in this stuff now. I was heard
no.
they be lacing it with things, and you don't even know what's in it. But you don't even know what you're smoking. All I know is it's loud. There's a real name for it too. Loud. It's really loud.
It is. I told them they said you want to smoke it and then it'll help your, arthritis. They said it'll help it, and it probably
You better go
will.
to a if you got to smoke something, go to one of them factories or whatever. What you call those? Those weed clinics or something. Don't get nothing off the street.
Girl, if they tell me the factory or whoever, I don't want it. Because I told them to be like my mom said, I don't want it because I may like it. And if I like it, I may not can stop it. So I don't want to start. It's too late in the evening for me to start some stuff and I can't get off.
Yeah,
no.
You're right.
I'm up here starting something. Next thing you know, I can't even go to work. I gotta get me a little something
I ain't
before I go to work.
When I ain't gonna lie, when they started those clinics and I'm still working with the board, I said I'm gonna need one of them brownies or something. They keep coming back in here. Them kids gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna be sitting there like this. I was 2 seconds. The only reason I ain't standing in line because the news was out there. I was about to go stand in line, see how it worked. I said, "Shoot, I need something to calm my nerve."
I know.
And I ain't never had one, but whew, at that moment, I was like, "Let me get in this line."
I know. I'd be like the young lady. She said that she took her son to the doctor and he said, "Mother, we can't help him. We can't give him nothing." She said she looked up at the doctor and said, "Well, hell, give me something. I need something. You gotta give him something or me something. One of us gotta get something." So I understand, depending on what you're dealing with. Some of this stuff you say, I'd be like, how do these people diagnose all these children? All these children ain't got this, can't be diagnosed with this.
Mm-mm.
But then when you look at them, a lot of these parents, they doing it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they ain't nothing wrong with the child. It's you. It's you. You the one wants up.
Oh, Lord.
But it's just crazy now, all those things that we go where we going to now. And I'm telling you, and if you ain't careful at the age that you in now, you like, what the use? What am I hurting them?
Yeah.
You'll be you see how many old people's
Mm-hmm.
is doing stuff.
Yep.
And I be looking at them and I be like, did you wait this
it.
old to do this?
Yep, they did. Mm-hmm.
Or you've been doing it all the time and you just
found out about it. It ain't gotta be undercover. I'm too old to be undercover with it.
Yeah, I mean it hurts because at a point now that we ought to be role models and we ought to be setting examples. And we got our older peoples is doing the exact same thing. And so it hurts. And I drive down the street, because over there by Harrison, and you got the shelter over there, and it sends you to what you see.
Yeah.
And you say to you, and you can't complain, and you can't talk about them, because all I can say when I pass is somebody's daughter, somebody's mama, somebody's son. And and what you doing to the generation, or to your children's, or to that lineage, it hurts. It hurts.
Yes, that's true. You're with Miss V and the crew, and we talking about a lot of things that can benefit you. Tune in, stay with us, and send us, ask us a question or chat with us for a bit. We're here for you.
I'm Go ahead, give him the phone number too.
You can call us at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Give us a call and give us your opinion on what we're talking about.
I see Twan say, "Hey y'all, I'm I'm telling you, she had the nerve to tell me just a few minutes ago, Mama, why don't you wear glasses?" I said, "Girl, I'm not finna go on there and wear no glasses."
Why not? If you can't see, look,
Yeah.
I got mine on. She talking about wear glasses. I can't see nothing.
You can't, but you wears them, right?
I ain't got no choice.
I'll be up here looking like 4 hours. I'll be up here pulling them down, pulling them up. But I guess I'm gonna try to do better, and that I can at least say that I'm gonna try to be better. I'm gonna try to do a little better when it comes to this. I am. I mean, it's like I still feel we finding our way, we navigating our way, and this is like, I don't know if is it too late to make an excuse that we knew. Well, I mean, how long do you have to be in something before you say we knew?
I think you're here. I think you're here now, and you knew you can see a couple shows ago. So it's time to get it right, Miss V.
There's no more excuses.
No more.
I got to do better. I know that's the truth. I would like to know. You don't have to tune in, but I do want to wish all those that had them that the Mother Day just passed, and to just thank God for you and you and you. I told them, how the Facebook blows up, Hallmark blows up, all the texts and phones, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Day is a day, and that should be honored. And I pray that you honored yours, if you had one to honor, and if you didn't have one to honor somebody else's, because it's worthy to be honored. Most people ask me, they say, "Well, what about your Mother Day and what your kids do?" Obviously, my kids are good to me, and I'm grateful, and I don't take that for granted. I didn't do nothing to earn it, and I probably don't even deserve it, but they're good to me. But I always tell my kids, and I mean it with everything in me, Mother Day is not one day in May.
Oh, of course not.
So if you treat me like a dog from April all the way up until don't come up no one day trying to honor nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You let this be your norm. Let this be your everyday walk. Let your one day give me a bouquet for all the other days that you've already been good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do one day.
That's it.
Yeah, if you waited to one day to just show your love, then that's a waste. Yeah. Because a mother is a mother.
Every day, all day,
single
no matter
day.
the age.
No matter the age.
No matter the age. Mother
and
is
most of the time you don't appreciate it, what you had, until it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And don't wait until it's over with, and then you look back and say, "I wished I could have, should have." It's too late.
Yeah, I agree with that. And having your mother, you want to live with no regrets. I've done all I can for her because I know she's done the same. And even with your dad, I've done all I can, and you don't want to have those regrets, because when the dirt goes in their face and you can't say anything anymore, oh my God, that's when the heart start going crazy.
And don't do it because you say, "Well, they ain't good to me, but they ain't did nothing for me." That is not the essence of anything, because it matters not how good they is to you. It matters how you are to them, because it just said it with a promise.
Yeah.
Honor them.
Honor.
This is something that even if they don't deserve it, do your part.
Yep.
because you're the only one that have to live with you every single day of your life. And and in light of the Mother Day, I was reading something, and I want to say that a strong woman or a strong mother, whichever, is not just a solitary figure. She's a force of nature, a loving guide, and a timeless inspiration, leaving an undeniable mark on the world. And I don't know if you may not even had a mother that was strong, but when you see one, don't be jealous of them.
Hmm.
Appreciate them, celebrate them. I tell my son all the time, it's some people's, they only tolerating you. They're not celebrating you. You want to be celebrated. So if you see a strong woman, celebrate her. Knowing that you don't know the navigation or the path that she had to go to get to be a strong woman. So if you can't do nothing else, appreciate it. Celebrate her. Tell her you admire her. Tell her you look up to her. Tell her that you standing on her shoulders, and tell her that if it had not been for her, there'll be no you. Appreciate them, because they need that, and they even need to hear it. A young man came the other day and he told me, he said, Mama, you so sexy. And the other guy behind him said, you better be careful, because with the how you be saying people, you can't say they at work and stuff because they do harassment.
Oh yeah.
And so the young man said, don't say that, because you could be for harassment.
Sexual harassment. Yeah.
I told him, baby, don't you know how many times I get that sex harass me? I don't get this every day. And don't you know, if a man want to tell me I'm sexy and I'm looking good, tell me.
Tell me.
Sex harassment. I don't get this every day.
She said sex harass me.
Yeah, I don't get it. You may get this every day. You may get somebody telling you look good and you sexy. And even he may not even mean it. But at that moment, I took it.
It felt good.
I took it. Baby, talk to me.
Did he put another dent in your hip?
Baby, when he said that, I walked out saying, is he looking? One, is he looking? You never know. I told him, I said, I told her, you ain't got to worry about me putting no sex harassment on it. I said, that's a good little thing he said, and he's sharing it, because he made a thought it and didn't tell me.
But bystanders can say something and file a claim on your behalf.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But if they come back.
Last time, whisper in my ear.
If they come back and say, well, we heard what he said. No, baby, he ain't saying nothing like that.
I'm going to defend that sexiness.
Defend that man. You talk that stuff to me.
Oh.
No, it was a nice young man. And he was young, too. And they say, well, you don't even like him because he's too young anyway. I said, my son, 45. He at least 46. He okay. He older than my son.
As long as he older than that baby
he
boy.
He older than him, so we good.
And it's good if a younger man say you're sexy and you're beautiful and you're looking good.
Yeah, he said, I don't know. He said, I don't even know how old you is, man, but you look good. Whatever age you is. And I took all that.
And you supposed to.
I took it, and I walked off with my steps got a little high. I thought I had on heels. I was walking so high.
Could nobody tell you that?
No, I was so grateful. And they're like, you can't say that. That's sex harassment. I said, he can sex harass me. Go ahead. It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Oh, but you said
it's a good thing. And when we ought to, and women's, we are so, and they got this on there now, because I'm finished. But he was like, women's has this thing of playing the victim, playing like, like they'll stir up stuff and then feel like they innocent. No, sometimes I have to take up for the men's. Some of these women's are wrong. These men ain't just because everybody smile at you, everybody tell you look nice, everybody to tell you, they ain't trying to like you and go home with you.
They're giving you a compliment.
They're just giving you a compliment. We take things and just blow it so out of proportion.
So since you said that everybody try to stir up something, women stir up something, I just see, now I'm going now to Cassie and Diddy, because Cassie was giving her testimony online, and some people are on there saying that she's not a victim. She's stirring, she know how to stir him up and get him revved up. But this was a 19-year-old lady, young girl, young adult, and he was 30 when he met her. he groomed her, in my opinion. But she's getting a lot of backlash because of all the stuff that she endured. Do you think a person that endured domestic violence and for that long of a, Cassie,
I don't.
but you heard the story.
No.
Well, I'm telling you the story then.
Okay.
She was P. Diddy's girlfriend, and she got a charge against him for domestic violence right now. And a lot of viewers saying that she's not a victim of domestic violence. Initiated. She went along with a lot of things that he told her to do, and some of the stuff is so derogatory. I don't want to mention it. However, we saw videos of him beating her and dragging her through the hallways and things like that. And like I said, she was 19 and he was 30 when they got together, and she's looking for a singing career. So, with that being said, you said a lot of women, um,
Play victim.
play the victim. Do you think a situation like that is the playing the victim?
I don't know her story, but I know so many women's in battered homes. So we all could take the stand.
So
We all can take the stand of being battered or every day. And it's still happening even today. And it didn't even, I must tell you, they didn't even voice the battered women until OJ Simpson's thing. Then it highlighted and it became now men's are being brought in. Because I remember one time the police came, I can't do nothing. This your husband, I can't do nothing.
yeah, they did.
So they did that. So there was a time that wasn't even did or even thought about. And then on his defense and even mine's. At what point do you say enough is enough?
Yeah, but as a child, to me,
19.
she's still a child mentally,
19.
still a kid, fresh out of high school.
19.
I understand that 30, 19 and 30 is a big age difference, and you're a big multi-million-dollar man.
I would never say he was right.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying,
But
you
how
said,
long do we stay with these people? When you okay, 19 though, well at 21 I'd have learned a little something. 22 I'd have learned a little
possibly?
something. Oh, I'm speaking from experience. I know staying there.
Yeah.
Because everybody has their own agenda on why a lot of things they take. I mean, financially agenda, security agendas, car agendas, house agendas,
yeah,
children's agendas.
And then how about
people take a whole. That's why I say a lot of times we take a whole lot of stuff
yes.
for a whole lot of reasons, and I don't know nobody else reasons why they take stuff, but I know for a fact that at some point. We until we know that enough is enough, we can't take no more.
Mhm.
And that becomes such a personal opinion, a personal thing where you just have to walk through yourself, that journey.
Mhm.
People could tell you all day, you need to leave. You need to get out of that. You need to stop.
And how about if you go to somebody and you asking them for help and they say they're gonna help you, then they turn around and tell him, and then tell him, or the person that's helping you turn around and get threatened, like you were saying that man was getting threatened and stuff. And then you thinking you get out.
It's a bad situation.
It's a bad situation.
It is. It's bad. And I mean, and back in the day, they would tell you, you better go back home to your husband. You made your bed, you better sleep in it. They didn't tell me that. But so many of them was told that.
That's how the burning bed came.
You got to stay in it. That's your husband. You can't leave. So I mean, and I was listening to one of the preachers said they've been giving out that type of advice a long time.
Yeah.
Had women staying in positions, staying in marriages, staying in abusive relationships because churches was telling them.
Yeah, one of them told me, "Hold on, baby, God is coming." I had to hear God for myself. He said, "I ain't told you to stay in this mess." I had one tell me, "Hold on, you just keep on paying your tithes and offering, come on to church and all that stuff, and I'm gonna go home and be brutalized." That don't make sense to me.
But a lot of those people, and not in their defense, they was only telling what they knew and what they had been told. So why
you got to know God for yourself.
You got to know Him for yourself. because I don't know the story and stuff, but I know one thing, that a lot of times people's be done told people's to leave. They done told them to get out. You deserve more than this. You deserve better than that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And a lot of times they told them, but for what reasons you think you're doing it, you stay there.
Yeah. But I don't care how long I stay. I don't care how long how much I love you. I feel like if you put your hands on me or you beat me and it's publicly displayed, you're wrong. You're wrong. Even if I stay, even if I participated in all these big sexual exploits and all that stuff, they still don't give you a right to beat on me. I there's people, they got paranormals, abnormals, and all these trinormal things. So people try all kind of sexual things in this day and age that I ain't never heard of, but they try all of these different things. So that don't make me bad because I want to try all these different sexual things or whatever and with these different partners, but it doesn't mean that you can beat on me. I'm already trying to please you by pleasing these people. Why you got to beat me like that? Don't make sense.
A wrong and one wrong don't make two wrongs don't make none right.
Nope.
So I mean, and you find yourself caught up in these situations, because I'm looking at all our young men, not just the ones that's going down for some things like this, because system is designed to crush you. And we fall right into these hands. And unfortunately it happens, but we as a people need to do better. We need to do better.
We have to teach our young men how to be men.
You got women out here beating the men. There's some women out here, they beating the men's up.
They are.
I mean, they're actually. I just saw a woman beat a man, and the child was trying to help him. The child was like, "Mom, don't be daddy like that," and she was like, "Step back, son. Get back. I got some work to do here." She wasn't playing.
Because now the men scared of going to jail for domestic, but the women, they need to go. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, it's we just have to do better. Yeah. And if you got to fight somebody to stay with them, then you don't need to be with them.
You don't need them.
I tell you, everybody, we done had a good time tonight. I told Wanda, she been sitting there with her bubbling
brown sugar.
Bubbling brown sugar. I promise you, ain't nobody can be bubbly like brown sugar. It ain't but one her. I promise you, we had a good time.
We did.
We're so grateful that you came by, sit with us for a little while. We getting better. And you're going to be the one that can be able to say, you know what? I remember when they won nothing. You could be one of them. Come back next week. See us at the same time. Same bad channel.
Yeah. Love you all. Thank you.
What will you say when this glory comes?